I think maybe even Dirty Jersey Rat. Dirty Jersey. Yay! I love that song.
And I gotta send Clearwater Chat a link. Something's going on. Something's going on. Something's going on. I gotta talk to Clearwater Chat about something specifically. Because I have many sources that it's not 100%, but there's a thing called Zoom Info app. Now my sources are telling me this. I looked it up last night too. Zoom Info app. What it does is, what's this guy's name? Dustin. I think he goes by Dustin and Douglas. Anyway, so he works for. Anyway, we'll just call him when Clearwater Chad's here. So I was thinking, how could they possibly remember John was going to dox Clearwater Chad? How could he possibly know who Clearwater Chad? Even back then, I was like, this is odd. So, but I think this Zoom Info app, it's expensive. It's like 15 grand a year to have it. So I think, and the government agencies probably have it, and Northwestern Mutual probably has it as well. So this guy, Dustin, he feeds John information. But also, a lot of people are saying this guy, Dustin, is John's brother-in-law who works for Northwest Mutual or something. So he makes enough money, and my sources are saying he does pretty good with the money. And John's been bragging for a long time that he makes money, and we know all the information about him. But I was thinking, how did John get Clearwater Chad's information? Because Clearwater Chad is not a public figure by any stretch. So I'm thinking you got to spend a lot of money to be able to find information and dirt on everybody, don't you, Dustin? Don't you, Dustin? So my sources are telling me they use this Zoom Info app, which is expensive. I looked it up last night. I can't afford it. But, they probably can find all kinds of dirt on people through, face recognition, any kind of information they could probably use against you. So I called Dustin today. Of course, he doesn't pick up. I want Clearwater Chad to come on and explain to me what he thinks happened, because John was threatening to dox Clearwater Chad. I don't know what Clearwater Chad did. Probably nothing. John's a piece of shit. But I think that the SEC, this Security Exchange Commission, might have a problem with Dustin using this kind of equipment to feed information to his piece of shit brother-in-law. I know the SEC is a joke. I'm not talking about the conference. The SEC, the SEC was notified about Madoff countless times, and they're like, no, but Madoff was friends with the SEC and the people that ran SEC. They're like, not Bernie. But when it comes to the Shuleys, you never know. That's how they work. And I think this Dustin's a Shuley, and I think they like to work in the shadows. Especially in the financial area. They're like, hey, you look the other way, and I'll invite you to the country club, okay? So there's a lot going on from my end. A lot of the sources are saying that it could be a problem with old Douglas or Dustin, whatever he prefers to go by. John calls him Dustin, but I'm going to call him Doug. I'm going to call him Dougie. I'll wait till Clearwater Chat, because I don't know. It made no sense. Did it make any sense? It didn't make any sense. Why he was going to dox Clearwater Chad, and how? Just off of what? Nobody had any information on Clearwater Chad, unless he paid Ray. Clearwater Chad, what say you?
Hey, Kevin, thanks for having me. How you doing?
Where are you? What's behind you? Furniture
I'm at
store?
one of my favorite pizza places in Buffalo, Blaisdell Pizza.
Free plug.
Yeah.
Good for you. So, when John was threatening to dox you, why was that?
I'm trying to think
because you didn't do anything, right?
No, but I think, and I could be wrong, the viewers will probably know better than me, but I think because that was the episode where I called him out and he cut my feet because he wasn't ready for that.
Oh, so you were on his show and you called him out for what?
I think the doxing was, he said he didn't dox me. I said, yeah, you did. I said, you went through back channels and you did it cryptically, but people, if they wanted to, they could figure it out. So, and then he cut my feed.
So why did you go on the show, to confront him about doxing you?
I mean, it could have been part of that. Yeah.
Okay. Cause what's happening is John has this guy, Dustin, that gets him information. And then somebody I know used to work with Dustin, just coincidentally. So they know this Dustin guy, and they know he uses this. He probably uses this Zoom info app because she used to. I mean, it could be a she, it could be he. Anyway, let's just call her she. She used to work at this company, and she knows what they use. It's called Zoom info app. It's very expensive, and but I think I was trying to figure out how could he possibly have got information on you, and I just thought maybe it's some kind of face recognition thing. So high tech. It's not just going on the dark web and putting in somebody's name and they pump out like an address and their phone number. But I think this even more. I don't know what the word is, but it can do a deeper dive. And I think because how else would he? Nobody knew you. Nobody knew what your name was. So how could he possibly? You never said what school. I mean, maybe you did say the school that you worked at.
No, I didn't.
So you didn't release any information. You never said on the show any information. They just knew that you were not from Clearwater, you're from Buffalo.
Yep.
But I never knew anything about you. Like I wouldn't even know if I was trying to dox you. I wouldn't even know where to start trying to find information on you. So there must be some kind of like high tech tool that this Dustin guy is using, and he's feeding Stuttering John information, and it's probably illegal because. This guy works for Northwestern Mutual, and I've called the number that I have, and he says don't make any trades here. So he's probably got to deal with it. He's probably licensed by, the traders are licensed, so they can lose that license. There's all kinds of ways they can get in trouble for doing illegal shit. Mostly it's for insider trading, that kind of stuff, But I'm sure with this, you can't just dox innocent people like yourself. I mean, who's more innocent than yourself?
Right. And he not only doxed me, but he said, like what the real name of my the mother of my kid, my ex-wife.
Right. So
like, I knew it was real.
There's no way he can do that on his own because it's too fucking complicated. Like you need a tool that basically does it for you because it's too complicated to look all this information up.
Right, I agree. I also thought the other person, and I'm not mad if he did it, but I thought the other person is capable of doing it would be Vince the lawyer, because he could use that Nexus and Lexus because he's got a law firm.
Yeah, but okay, that's possible. But I think if it was Vince the lawyer, I mean, John's an idiot. So John always talked about this guy Dustin. So if it was Vince the lawyer, he might have said Vince the lawyer, and I think Vince the lawyer's. Doesn't want to get involved in that shit because, it could get, once he gets, you know what I mean? Vince the lawyer kind of tries to stay independent of John.
Yeah, and I don't think he would do that because he was cool with me. So
yeah, but it's not just that. He doesn't want to get too in bed with John because he knows ultimately John's will stab him in the back and he's a losing piece of shit. But his brother-in-law, Dustin, I mean, his real name is Douglas. His brother-in-law, he's not in the Dabbleverse, so he can't. He thinks he's independent of it, but John's so dumb that he gave out enough information about it, and then somebody just kind of coincidentally used to work with this fucking Douglas clown, and now Douglas might be in hot water. That old Gino Bisconte show, In Hot Water. I guess he still does it from time to time. I just thought it was crazy because I've been getting a lot of information about the guy, and I was thinking today when I was on my bike, I do a lot of thinking there because I don't have my phone. My phone's on me, but it's in my satchel in the back. So I can't, I'm not distracted, So I was thinking, how the fuck did he dox Clearwater Chad? And he doxed your wife on his show or on Twitter. And then also he uses some fake Twitter accounts that are not attached to his name. And he does that as well. And again, I don't know if this guy Dustin is breaking the law, but I guess we'll find out.
Right, he probably is. No, he did it on his, I believe, official Twitter because he wanted me to know. And he, like I said, he did it really like a fifth grader where he created sentences to where, I would know. He used her name in a sentence and he used my last name out of context. So we know what you're doing, John. You're not smart.
And what was his intent, do you think? Just to try to scare you, to startle you?
I think just to get one up on me because he didn't like me calling him out. I think something happened before. Right. I think I gave him some. Oh, I gave him the Tukey answers because Tukey was feeding me.
Right.
And he did not like that. Yeah. He can't.
So if John's, this is a text I'm getting from a reliable source. So if John's brother-in-law worked for Northwestern Mutual, probably doesn't have to pay that his firm does. It's talking about the Zoom info app. And that he does, like, basically he's saying his firm probably pays for it, and the fact that he's using it for personal stuff to feed John information about Clearwater chatting his wife is probably a big red flag for the SEC and whatnot. So did you ever confront Stuttering John about him doxing you and your wife?
Just on that one, he invited me on that one last time on his show, and as soon as I told him that what he did was wrong and he did dox me, he said he did, and I told him to his face he did, and he cut my feed. That was the last time I seen him. So he can't handle the truth. He thinks it's okay for him to do it, but when other people do it, he goes nuts.
Yeah. No, he's a piece of shit. But the best part is, like, his brother-in-law is now getting dragged into it. And his brother-in-law, I called his brother-in-law. He don't pick up. I'll call him as soon as I'm done with you, because I don't want you to be complicit in case I get arrested for this. Again, I'm not doing anything wrong. He don't pick up, so it's not. I don't need. And I live in a one-party state anyway.
Yep.
And since he doesn't pick up, it doesn't really matter because I'm just going to leave a message. And but I couldn't imagine how he could get information about you unless you said what school you worked at or whatever. It's got to be some kind of face recognition thing.
Right. Yeah, like you said, and he's not that smart to do it himself. He definitely had help.
Yeah, he's too lazy too, and he's an alcoholic. And you know how alcoholics, the work ethic is. They'll work and John starts drinking about 6. So and that's John always gives himself an out. John thinks he's not an alcoholic. I don't want to preach to you, but John thinks he's not an alcoholic because he only drinks beer, and he starts at 6. So he thinks he's not an alcoholic because he doesn't drink all day like Gina Visconti. But if you drink at 6 o'clock every day and you drink 6 to 12 beers every day, you're an alcoholic. So
yeah, I definitely agree.
I mean, it's like, you're fat, you have a problem with food, and, and you probably make excuses for yourself all the time about, like, well, you're not really overeating, and blah, blah, blah. But, truth be told, you probably are. I'm not saying you're a bad guy. I'm just saying people make excuses for themselves,
No, but I at least for me, I admit it. I admit I'm overweight, and I'm trying to do something about it, and I'm not trying as hard as I should be, so that's why I'm not losing.
I'm just saying, people have a tendency to make excuses for themselves. You're not drinking yourself to death like Stuttering John, hopefully.
Yeah.
But all right, what can you, in conclusion, what can you tell us about? I don't want to keep you because I know you're busy, but what can you tell us about Ray DeVito?
Ray DeVito, I like Ray, but whenever he invites me on a show, he knows. I told him what days that I work, and he only calls me on the days I work. He never calls me on like this Friday and Saturday when I'm off. So I don't know why he does that.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I don't know how many times. Like I said, I like him. He's a good guy. I don't want to speak against him.
He's not a good guy. He's duplicitous. So he always calls you when you're working.
Every single time. Like he knows I'm at work last night, so I couldn't join. I felt bad. You know what I mean?
Don't feel bad. First of all, he's using you to get super chats from Mike V.
Well, Mike V super chatted him anyways.
See? With the hopes you would jump on.
Yeah, I cut my, plus, yeah, I can't. It's, and then I don't need that because then people will be calling my work saying that I'm on live, blah, blah, blah.
Right. Like Stuttering John's brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Clearwater Chat, if you like, I can help you file a claim with the FINRA and Northwestern Mutual's compliance department. And he has to turn over business and personal info or he's fired. John will have destroyed his brother's life. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, he definitely works for Northwestern Mutual.
You have reached Douglas Keller of Keller Financial at Northwestern Mutual's Midtown Manhattan branch. Sorry that I'm not available to answer your call personally at this time. If you leave me a brief voicemail, I'll be sure to get right back to you. Or please feel free to call Peter or Lou at Please do not leave any investment trade related orders on this voicemail. Thanks.
Hey, Dustin. Hey, it's Kevin. I want to buy 20 shares of GE at market. Okay, get back to me. Thank you.
Dirty, dirty Jersey. Dirty Jersey rat, dirty Jersey rat. Dirty, dirty Jersey.
You broke my heart, Dirty Jersey. You broke my heart. Mainly by including Granny. That's my main issue.
You know what? You weren't. I know that your ass was not going to bring this up.